name is Nia Harrison, and I'm attending the University of Alabama in the fall, and I'm excited to share what Jesus has done in my life. A Bible verse that has been particularly special to me is James chapter 1, verses 2 through 3. Consider it pure joy, my brothers, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith develops perseverance. I was continuing, but I grew up knowing about Jesus, and my parents would take my two brothers and I to church mostly every Sunday. They told me about Jesus in Sunday school, and I was raised knowing about the Jesus they taught with the arts and crafts. I wasn't aware of Jesus until I went to a Christian sports camp and I was exposed to him. Going to the Christian sports camp made Christianity more appealing to me. The counselors were people I aspired to be like. They seemed so happy and content just by glorifying God and introducing him into our lives. Throughout high school, I just followed the crowd and did what I pleased. I cared about being liked and wanted among my friends. I was living for me and no one else. I was selfish and greedy. I went on mission trips and I just wasn't into my relationship with the Lord. I had not experienced a lot of Jesus yet. For me, not knowing Jesus was like walking around in circles. I was lost and I had no confidence. First semester of my junior year was the beginning of my turning point. I was at a lost and low place in my life. I felt alone and down. I remembered how happy my camp counselors were, and I wondered what was different from our lives. My friends were negative towards me, which had an effect on how I felt about myself. I was around two-faced girls. I was around drinking and parties. The low point was so low because I kept denying Jesus in my life. I knew about him and I didn't even acknowledge him. It was almost like he didn't even exist. And that was so hard because being in that low place, it was sad and dark. I had a realization that my life was empty and it was missing a key element. That element was Jesus. I started thinking more about the Lord and how my actions were or were not glorifying him, and it broke my heart. I knew I needed a change in my life, so I started changing my friends, how I thought, and how I perceived things. I didn't realize what a huge role Jesus had in my life until the summer on the last night of the mission trip in Jamaica. Jesus used the seniors' last will and testimony to speak to me through them. Senior night is where the seniors give their charge to the upcoming seniors and the rest of the youth group. The seniors were saying how much Jesus changed their lives. And I realized that my life had been changed because of him, and there's nothing more that I wanted. Each senior that came up to talk had a charge to be involved with Jesus and invite him into our lives. And some were crying, and they were saying this, and it moved mountains in me. Jesus was starting a fire in me, and there was a passion for me to know him more. This night was so special because I felt that Jesus found me. I didn't feel alone, I felt wanted. That night, I made a vow to start digging into the Word more consistently and form a strong relationship with the Lord. Living my life for Jesus caused me to become distant from my friends and miss out on parties, but that doesn't matter to me anymore. At first, it bothered me, but because of Jesus and what he's done in my life, I started caring less. I became okay that I was growing further away from my friends because Jesus had done something to set me apart from them. Making time in my day for my relationship with Jesus has had a major role in my life this past year. The change has been radical. Not having the urge to drink or go to parties were the changes I saw in myself. Reading the scripture and trusting in it played a big role in forming my new relationship with Jesus. I love digging into the Word and going to the scriptures when things aren't going as I planned or as I expected. Every move I made, I wanted to be sure Jesus was going to be right there with me, and that what I did was what he wanted me to do. This life has been so sweet and filled with so many happy times. The time I spend talking about Jesus or being around people that love Jesus, have made my life so much sweeter and enjoyable. It is nothing but pure happiness with Jesus in my life and consuming me. Jesus took my broken self and made me whole again. I wanted to bring back focus to my favorite Bible verse, James 1, verses 2 through 3. Because I faced many trials before and after my encounter with Jesus, facing trials just makes my relationship with Jesus stronger and much more real. Without these trials, I would not have come into a relationship with Jesus. I would not know him. I would still be a selfish person. I encourage the incoming 8th graders to not be afraid of having Jesus a part of your life. Invite him in and do not wait any longer. Don't wait to be a junior in high school like me. And as for the adults, if you have not invited Jesus into your life, like I said, do not wait. I encourage you all to invite him into your life and be bold in your faith and journey with Jesus.